G'day guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel, Nintendo Down Under. The Nintendo 64 Mini, the Nintendo 64 Classic, whatever you want to call it. It looks like we're pretty much done with it. It's pretty disappointing. I've been holding out hope for this for a few years now. With the awesome NES Classic, SNES Classic. We definitely thought the N64 was going to be next in line, but it's been pretty much squashed by the president of Nintendo, Doug Bowser. So quote the president of Nintendo, Doug Bowser, "Our focus right now is absolutely on our dedicated platforms such as Nintendo Switch Lite and our flagship Nintendo Switch. I think with the gameplay experiences you saw with some of our classic consoles that we launched a few years ago, they're now available on the Nintendo Switch Online, and this is where our focus will be." So to break that down, Doug Bowser pretty much saying, squash, no, not gonna happen. The previous president before him on the topic of the Nintendo 64 Mini said the same thing, that our focus isn't on that at the moment. So that's really disappointing. It's the reality, it's the fact that it's just not gonna happen anytime soon. So what's the main reason Nintendo isn't doing this also? Basically, money and success. In more clear terms, the NES and Super NES Classic Edition consoles were created to keep money coming in while Nintendo transitioned from the Wii U, which bombed, to the Switch, which is a resounding success. And now that Nintendo's doing so well again, the need for more Classic Edition consoles may no longer exist. So yeah, that sucks. Basically, if you were holding your breath for a Nintendo 64 Mini, it may be time to exhale because it's not gonna happen. So now that we know we're not going to get a Nintendo 64 Mini, what do we do about it? Well, basically I've gone over these terms before in previous videos, but yes, there are other options out there. You can, if you do not own a Nintendo 64, go out and get one. You can get them quite cheap. If you shop around, get the few games, you can borrow some games from friends, or look around, you should be able to find a decent price there. There's heaps and heaps and heaps tutorials online about how to mod your other classic minis like your NES and the SNES to get all the 64 games on there. So if you want to do that, and if you're quite tech savvy, go get your minis, go online, do some research and load the games on there yourself. It's not official, but there's another way around it just like that. And if Nintendo Switch Nintendo are focusing on their Nintendo Switch, then in the future it looks like we might see Nintendo 64 games on the Nintendo Switch. They've done NES, they've done SNES, and they're saying they're focusing their time on that. Then if we're patient, we might see Nintendo 64 games on the Nintendo Switch, which would be awesome. Yeah, I can't wait if that happens. If I'm not going to get a Nintendo 64 Mini Classic, I definitely want to see what sort of 64 games they put on the Switch to play them in HD. It will be awesome. Hopefully they do some sort of online play with maybe Mario Kart or Smash Bros. That would be awesome too. So again, we'll watch the space on that one. In other news, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild #2, they reckon 2020 could be its launch date. I completely disagree with that. That's not going to happen. They say they want to push for 2020, but Zelda games have been delayed many times before, and it took them a while to make the first Breath of the Wild because it was such a great game. And if they want to really rush and push this game out for 2020, it could be incomplete. It could not be as good and polished. So I don't think we're going to see it next year. And personally, if they're not going to make a game as just successful and as awesome as the first, then I don't want them to rush it. I don't want to see it in 2020. I'm happy to wait for the good version and see it in 2021. So yes, watch that space. They're saying all the rumors 2020, but I think that's absolute rubbish. So what do you think, guys? Do you still hold hope for the Nintendo 64 Mini? It looks like those hopes and dreams are very faded. Would you be okay to see these games come on the Nintendo Switch Online if you have an account? Have you modded your Switches before, or your Mini Classics before? Love to hear your feedback on those ones. And what do you reckon? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild #2 next year? I'm not too sure about that. I think it's going to be 2021 or even 2022. Who knows? We've seen Metroid been delayed so many times, so that could be delayed too. But I certainly hope it's not 2022 because I can't wait and I'm so excited to play it already. But I'm happy to wait for a really polished game. If you haven't already, guys, don't forget to like us on Facebook, Nintendo Down Under. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Nintendo Down Under. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and take care.